Today I will discuss the next portion of topic number 6, that is demand side management. In this we have to learn today what are the techniques and implementation of the techniques for demand side management and the tariff option for demand side management. These two articles are remain in this. So today we will discuss techniques of demand side management. There are two types of techniques normally applicable in this particular chapter, that is demand side management. First is energy conservation and efficiency program. One is to save the energy. First technique is this. Second technique is load response program, to shift the reschedule energy, to shift and reschedule energy consumption process. So these are the two techniques by which we can apply the DSM techniques for improvement of the system performance. So first is energy conservation and efficiency program. In this program there is an ample of programs or the potential for energy saving opportunities are available, in which we have to apply this particular program in which we can save the energy. So demand side management in this case, if we consider all the three types of consumer, that is the domestic consumer, commercial consumer and industrial consumer and the agriculture consumer. So there is a possibility of ample of saving for the energy, that is particularly electrical energy, for this under this program. So how it can be done? First we have to select the area in which we have to perform this program. Suppose we go for domestic area or for domestic consumer. So in this particular case we have to just go for survey of the domestic consumer's house for their connected load and operating load. So if connected load and operating load are different, then definitely the stress should be given to reduce the connected load. Connected load means you have to educate the domestic consumer that if there is no need of electricity, then in particular case then you don't go for the internal wiring of those such type of instrument. So this can be reduce the connected load of the system. The operating load, it can be also reduced according to time scheduling. In time scheduling you have to see that whenever there is a peak load hour, you have to educate the domestic consumer they should not operate their high rating equipment under the peak load period. So this will be save the energy in the peak load period. Similarly, if you go for commercial consumer, so commercial consumer have maximum demand in the evening hours from 6 to 10. So you have to educate the commercial consumer for saving of energy in this peak load period. In the daytime there is a natural light is available from the sunlight. So the lighting arrangement inside the shops of the commercial installation or the commercial application part of the electricity, you can reduce the consumption of electricity by switching off all such type of load which are not necessary from lighting point of view in the case of commercial load. Similarly, commercial load also in big malls and big super bazaars or sometime big stores, there are centralized AC controls are there. So you have to see that there should be no leakage in the system at any point. So that will increase the efficiency of air conditioning in such type of commercial complex or commercial installation. That will also reduce the energy consumption and give the energy efficiency of the use. Then if you go for the industrial consumers, then industries are running almost the medium scale and large scale industries, they are running in 3 shifts. So according to shift wise planning of the running of industry, you have to check out where it is possible to save the energy in a particular shift. So according to that, in general shift the requirement of light is less, so lighting load can be avoided in the day hours or in the first shift. In second shift when it is started, then slightly lighting arrangement is required for the internal lighting of the industry. So you can switch on those selected lighting arrangement which are necessary for process operation. So this will be there. And in the third shift, because it is a night shift, so in that case the lighting load increases naturally, because every part of the system should be have enough lighting arrangement for the proper working in the system. So in that case you have to increase the lighting load. So in industry, whatever the machine load is there for process, it is not in our hand to reduce that, but the lighting load it is in our hand to increase or decrease according to the requirement. So the stress should be given on this particular point, so ample of energy can be saved in this particular case. So energy conservation and efficiency program in this type of points are applicable. Similarly, if you go for agriculture load, so agriculture load is also, as I have told you last time, that agriculture load have a maximum demand whenever irrigation purpose you have to start the pump set. So it is required in the summer days, because there is a shortage of water for the crops. So you have to run the agriculture pump set even 12 hours, 10 hours, 24 hours running is required for the purpose of irrigation. So in that particular case you can reschedule the operating hours of the agriculture pump, so that in the off peak load hour period you can run the pump with full efficiency and for that time, so that more irrigation can be obtained during that particular time period, because it is the offload peak hour, means where the demand in the system of all consumers is minimum. At that time, if you plan to run the irrigational load, so you can get sufficient operating voltage for the motors, and motors will run with full efficiency and give the maximum output for irrigation. So this is a program which is coming under energy conservation and efficiency program. This is mainly for save the energy. So saving of energy, I have given the points. On these points, if you make the efforts, so definitely you will save the energy up to a considerable extent. Considerable extent means that can be counted, and that this energy we have saved. So this type of application is required. There is a lot of theoretical approach is there for that, but theoretical approach is only for the purpose of the calculation and assumptions. But practical approach is that you have to see the system in all respect, all the four system: domestic, industrial, commercial and agriculture system, and study in detail that what is the load curve for that particular type of system and what is the load duration curve for that type of system. So with the study of load duration curve and load curve, you can find out the optimum period when you can run the load, so that the energy consumption is minimum takes place in that particular system. So this is a matter of detailed study of each type of system according to your load curve and load duration curve, and according to that you will make the program for this. So energy saving program can be launched for all these four type of consumer, or the consumers part of the four types, so that you can save the energy. The energy saved is the energy generated. This is one of the particular slogan. It is always written on the places where energy consumption is there. So energy save is the energy generation. It is a fact that when you save the energy, so at that time the energy cannot be generated, or as I told you that electrical energy, it is that energy which is to be used when it is generated. So when we say that energy saved is energy generated, it is that if you energy save the energy in any force system, then that much load on the system is decreased and load on the power station is also decreased. So you can shut off the number of generator or number of turbines which are running by thermal energy or by nuclear energy or by hydel energy. So at that time, if this type of planning is there, then you can control the wastage of the energy sources. So energy saved is energy generated, means whatever coal you save, whatever uranium you save during that hours when the load, when energy is saved, so that much energy is available with you for the period when the peak load hours will come. So this type of use of energy, it is always done with the help of proper programming. So for proper programming of all these type of systems of consumption pattern, you have to study the consumption pattern of all the four type of system, and according to consumption pattern you find out what are the points where you can save the energy. So whenever you find out such points where saving of energy is possible, so you can do that particular saving in that particular hour. So this is by the detailed study of load curve and the load duration curve of the system. So this is the first point in which we have discussed the what is the technique for energy conservation and efficiency program. Then second is the load response program. It is one of the part of this. In this particular point, it is again come load response program, means you have to study again the load curve, and according to load curve you have to see the response of the your generating stations and your consumers. So our objective is that the load factor should be maintained one unity, so that demand and supply, they are having equal ratio. Equal ratio means it is one, that the demand is equal to supply, so there is no wastage of energy. But if the factor is less than 1 or more than 1, then there is a requirement of the some correction in the system, so that the load factor should operate nearly 1. Nearly 1 means it may operate on 0.95, 0.9 like this. But there is a, if there is a large difference in this factor, suppose it is operate on 0.8, 0.6, then it shows directly that the demand and supply, it has a big gap. So this particular gap we have to fill up with the help of maintaining the load factor equal to unity. So this is the load response program, in which LPR, that is load response program, we have to go for reliability based program and price based program. There are two types of program we can run. The reliability based program is that in which the demand and supply you should maintain, so the stability and reliability of the system can be maintained. And second is the price based program. In this you have to see that there should be no loss of revenue for the electrical supply agency whenever we manage for this particular program in price based program. So in price based program you have to see that you have to apply different type of tariff according to the consumer's nature and its nature of consumption. So in price based program there are three types of applications are there: direct load control by utility, and second is load control by consumer end, and third is the distinguished load control method. So there are three type of application in this particular case in which price based program can be run. So price based program means we have to discourage the consumer by increasing the cost of energy per unit whenever a consumer consume more energy in the peak load hours period. Means that in peak load hours period, if the energy consumption is more, then the peak load will also increase, and this will increase the load on the power station. So for this purpose we have to design in such a way the tariff so that in the peak load hours period, if you charge per unit consumption and the fixed charges more, then definitely consumer will be discouraged to use the more energy in case of peak load hours period. In off-load peak load period, you give certain benefits to the consumer so that he can use the energy, because the energy is available and there is a off peak load period. So revenue cannot be or should not be lost due to excess energy generation and less energy consumption. So on the off-load peak period, off-load peak period, you have to see that you increase the consumption of the energy in the all the sector. Maximum it takes place in the agriculture sector and industrial sector, because they are the bulk consumer and their operation is 24-hour basis. While the operation of domestic consumer and commercial consumer, it is time based. Time based means from commercial consumer point of view, if you see that their peak load period will be from 6 to 10 in the evening hours, and similarly for domestic consumer, if you go, then their peak load period is in the morning from 6 to 9 and in evening from 6 to 10. So this particular type of study you have to carry it out in detail by considering the load. So when there is a off-load peak hours are there in case of agriculture consumer and the industrial consumer, then you try to give certain benefit or incentives to the consumer so that they can consume more energy during off-load peak hours. So this will increase the your revenue of the electrical supply agencies. And in peak load hours, you have to discourage them. This is the simple method, that you have to discourage during peak load hour period, and you have to encourage in the time when off peak load period is there. So it is only done by proper designing of the tariff for the two type of load, means peak load period and off peak load period. So this is the price based program in which we can do this particular type of things. Then there is a the third article is there, that we have to go for the load control. The load control is that the direct load control is there, local load control is there, and distributed load control is there. There are three types of load control can be done, which is applicable for all the four types of consumer, in which one is the direct load control. Direct load control can be done from the distribution side. From the distribution substation, if you see there is a load which is going beyond the generation capacity or the available load capacity, then you can take the load shedding. In the load shedding, you cut off those unimportant load which can be off in this period when there is a load increase in the system due to low generation, or the overloading of the system is taking place due to more demand and less supply. So you go for the first option, that direct load control. So the direct load control can be done from the distribution substation or transmission substation, that they cut off the load on certain feeders, that is called load shedding method. So in load shedding method, they study that on which particular type of feeder the load is becoming more and more in this particular hour when the system is already overloaded. So you have to cut off the load of those feeders so that you can manage it properly. Second is the local load control method is there. So in this particular case, the distribution substation are there, in which 33 by 11 kV substations are there, which are directly giving the primary distribution to the consumers on 11 kV or 33 kV. So this type of load control can be done for a particular feeder which is overloaded in a particular period of time. So at that time you can cut off the load from the substation, so that for a period of time when this overloading in the system is taking place, so you can cut off the load for that particular feeder of 11 kV or 33 kV. So this is the local load control. In this local load control, you can also control it from the 440 volt 3-phase supply distribution line, that is called secondary distribution. From that point of view also you can control the load. But maximum possibility is there if you shut off the load from 11 kV and 33 kV, then only you can do that particular type of things. So this is important in that case. Then whenever you have to control load from the load control point of view in the local area, so in the local load control system you can easily do by 33 and 11 kV substation to control the load. Then third one is the distributed load control. In distributed load control you have to classify again the distribution of energy according to type of consumer. So type of consumers, in the case of domestic consumer, you can cut off the distribution of energy, because these consumers, domestic consumers, they are not much important from that point of view. But industrial consumer and agriculture consumer, they are giving more revenue to the supply agency. So this control is not applicable for agriculture and the commercial load and industrial load. So this type of control, that is distributed load control, it is maximum applicable for the domestic consumer. And the domestic consumer, the distributed load can be controlled with the help of the load control of the domestic consumer. The different form of the above two method in this particular case, that is the direct load control and local load control, I have given how it can be done. But load control from this point of view, in which we have to go for distributed load control. So in this we have to study the load curve of the particular consumer, and according to that you should decide the load shedding of this particular consumer in that case. So different form of the above two method. In this method the consumer control load